Hey YouTube, figured I'd do an update here because I've been really bad about it lately. I've been working a whole bunch, and between work and not going anywhere with this COVID thing, and I've been getting less done than I wanted to get done on this because I'm wrecked at the end of the day. But this is my disaster of a bench right now. Motor's in, intake's on, everything's plumbed, everything's good. Just got to put the rat in and the intake tube. That'll be done. I tried my manual brake bleeder, my suction cup, my cheap one, and it was a no-go on bleeding the clutch. Yeah, I did the remote clutch bleed line here. So I'm going to have the wife come down and we'll try the old pump method. I originally had a Tick master cylinder for this. After talking to Monster, they recommended that I just do a regular factory one. So I left the stock one in. I may replace it later just to do it. But for right now, it sucks. That door doesn't open very well with that post there, and it's just hard to get under it to the pedals. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and leave the stock one. I obviously did the Ranger method and cleaned it out real well. So this should be pretty clean. And then I have a bleeder now anyway, so I should be able to suck out anything I got to suck out. Let's see what else. I mean, everything went together pretty well. I'm going to leave the coil covers off. I painted the valve covers red. I kind of dig that, and I did the aluminum brackets. I may eventually clean those up and shine them up, but I don't really think it's going to matter too much. I'm a moron, and I put the motor back in, kinked this line. So turn one is the only one you can get it from. It was $50 plus $20 shipping for like a 10-inch line. So that sucks. So place that. I think I found the source of my occasional traction control issue where it says, performance, whatever. Actually, it fell off. So this connector here had a zip tie kind of holding it tight. Obviously, the old connection that holds this tight is broken. So I'm going to take that apart and clean it, put new zip ties on it, see if I can get that to continue to function as it should. Let's see what else. Tried to ditch the neck, but when you do that, your filler cap hits your coil, so that doesn't work. So that unfortunately has to stay. It's kind of ugly, but whatever. Headers are on. I had a fun time figuring out where all the wires go because GM makes it so not all the connectors are unique. When I'm used to Jeeps, and every connector has its own end. So I actually had my NOx sensors coming over to here and plugged into what was it? There's a plug over here. Oh, my oil level. So I had to fix all that. That was kind of a pain to figure out. They're the exact same connector. And then over there I had one that was loose. I'm like, what the heck is this? And then I also had the one above for my crank sensor above the starter. Totally forgot about that one. That was fun to get in with the header on and the starter in. One thing I don't love, but I had to do was the header here. This needs hooked up still. It's hanging here so I don't forget. It contacted the steering shaft, so you can see it kind of like had a little aluminum rub off a little bit. I don't think structurally there's any issue. It's just all surface. But I dimpled the header a little bit. That's just dirt. But I dimpled the header in a straight line using a hammer and a pipe, and that seems to have clearance to give me, I don't know, between an 1/8 and a 1/4 inch. So that should be good. It was kissing it before when the motor would torque a little bit. Even with the solid rubber bushings, it would still move a little. Or solid rubber motor mounts. Let's see. So everything's empty, but everything's in. I gotta bleed everything. I gotta put the radiator in. Fans, obviously. I'm gonna go ahead and fix. I got a couple of fins that are kind of jacked up, and my garage is a disaster. So is what it is, man. Once we do that, bleed the clutch, fill the tranny, fill the diff. And I need to put the mid pipe and the new axle, the new DNA axle back, which that's the Corsa knockoff ones that are awesome. I actually had them on the car before. They sound great. They were just starting to look a little worn after probably, I don't know, 8 years. The guy had them on there. So I gave them to my buddy. Well, I traded them to my buddy for the heads. And then I bought the new ones so they're nice and shiny. I don't know, whatever. I could have just put the old ones back on. But at the time, I thought I was going to be all slick. A couple things I didn't do. I wish I had. I ran out of steam for scrubbing the engine bay when the engine was out. I just didn't have it in me. I want to get this thing running. I'm sort of hitting a wall. You hit that point in a project where you just kind of got to get it done. And that was a triage move on my part. I said, hey, if this is going to get done, I just got to get the motor in. So for those of you guys who haven't been watching, I do have the Summit underdrive pulley. I got that ARP bolt in there. Fun fact, you want to torque that before you put the motor back in if the steering rack's in place, because you can't get anything on that. I had to jack it up to get the jack the motor up to get the torque wrench on there to torque that down. I think I got it to 240 before it would spin the tires with the parking brake. With the electronic torque wrench, I lowered it down to I couldn't get 250, so I tried to 240, and I was able to beep it at 240. So with tons of red Loctite and it's pinned, it's not going anywhere. I'm not worried about it. Some guys say they only torque them to 180, 190. I got it to 240. I'm fine with that. Anything else I can update on? No, I mean, that's it. If you've been following, built Z06 trans, built 410 diff, BTR stage 3 cam. I got the 42-pound GM injectors on, and I don't know. We'll see if it runs. I'm hoping to fire it maybe tomorrow, maybe Sunday. We might take the kids up to my parents' place on Conneaut Lake on Saturday, so it might not be till the end of the weekend. The tuner comes next Saturday, so that gives me a week to iron out any leaks, issues, that kind of thing. So he was supposed to come day after tomorrow, but another guy and I swapped spots, so that gave me a little extra time, so I wasn't killing myself late at night getting this done, because there's not really any rush out right now. It's still cold, and it's Western PA. So all right, that's the update on the Vette. I know all I did was really talk and point and whatever, but we are getting to the end of it. I'm excited to get this thing running, be able to pull it out, drive it, and get my garage back under control. I got other projects I want to do on the Miatas. I want to drive this thing in the worst way, and I want to hear it just sitting there loping and being pissed off and camming. I'm excited. So some chop is on the way. So I don't know how you did this in the car, Yellow Vette. Screw that. Dude, your poor back, man. So I couldn't do it. I'm glad I pulled the motor. No regrets there. So let's see. Oh, I have a new alternator for it. I ordered it not realizing that they're real picky on alternators, and I ordered it from Amazon. And then I canceled it, and they sent it anyway. So I'm going to make sure everything runs with this. I'm going to try it. If it works, I'll tell you guys which one it is, and I'll link it in the next description. I'll do a video on it, because it was $150. The correct ones are like $500 or $450, and screw that. So I'll give you a heads up if it works. If it doesn't, I'm just going to return it. So, all right, guys, have a good one.